Am I the asshole for eating my coworker's leftover lunch in the fridge? This happened last Friday and now my entire office is buzzing about it. I didn't think it would blow up the way it did, but here we are. I need to know, am I the asshole for thinking this was fair game? So, for a little context, I work in an office where we share a fridge in the break room. It's pretty standard. People bring in lunches, put them in the fridge, and everyone's good about leaving each other's stuff alone most of the time. We have a system where the janitorial staff throws out any leftover food that's been in there too long, especially on Fridays when they clean out the fridge at the end of the day. It's kind of an unspoken rule that if something has been sitting there for several days, especially if it's not labeled, it's considered fair game or trash. Last Friday, I went into the break room around 2 p.m., just after lunch hour. I was starving because I had skipped lunch earlier due to a meeting that ran late. I opened the fridge, and there was this takeout container sitting there. I'd noticed it earlier in the week. It had been in the fridge for almost a week, with no name on it. Normally, people around here are good about labeling their stuff, but this one didn't have any label at all. By Friday afternoon, I figured it was probably abandoned, or at least something that the person had forgotten about and wasn't going to eat. I mean, who leaves takeout in the fridge for nearly a week and still plans to eat it? Plus, with the janitors coming to clean everything out later that day, I thought it was going to get tossed anyway. So I made the call. I took the container, heated it up, and ate it. It was pretty good too. I thought nothing of it and went back to work. Then, about an hour later, my coworker Sarah came storming into my office, clearly upset. She was holding the empty takeout container and asked, "Did you eat my lunch?" I was surprised. I said yes, but that I thought it had been abandoned. I explained that it had been in the fridge all week with no name on it, and that I assumed it was either forgotten or going to be thrown out anyway since it was Friday afternoon. I also mentioned that I had seen the janitorial staff throw away food in the past, so I figured I was doing everyone a favor by eating it instead of letting it go to waste. Sarah didn't see it that way. She was furious, telling me that it wasn't takeout at all. It was a meal she had prepped at home, and she was saving it for Friday because she was trying to budget and eat her homemade food. She said she didn't label it because she didn't think she had to, and she assumed no one would touch it since it was her own lunch. Apparently she'd been looking forward to eating it all week and now it was gone. I felt terrible, but I honestly thought it was fair game at that point. The container had been there for nearly a week, unlabeled, and I had no idea it was something she had planned to eat later. I apologized, but she kept going on about how inconsiderate I was for just assuming it was up for grabs without asking. She said it was common sense not to eat other people's food and that I should have checked before helping myself. The thing is, food is often left in the fridge all week, and by Friday afternoon, it's either thrown out or forgotten. I really didn't think I was doing anything wrong, especially since it was after lunch hours and the fridge was going to be cleaned out soon anyway. I figured I was saving it from going to waste. But Sarah's reaction has me second-guessing everything. Some of my coworkers have taken her side, saying it's never okay to eat someone else's food, even if it's been in the fridge for a while. A few others have said they understand why I thought it was fine given the circumstances, but now the whole situation has left me feeling confused. I never meant to upset anyone, and I definitely didn't mean to steal someone's lunch. I just thought it was one of those things that happens in a shared office space. Sometimes food gets left behind, and if it's been sitting there for too long, it's kind of up for grabs, right? So, am I the asshole for thinking Sarah's leftover lunch was fair game? Should I have asked around before eating it, or was I justified in assuming it was abandoned since it had been in the fridge for nearly a week?